So I had to, it's like the stars being aligned and the gods are telling you what to do. And
Yeah.
so you have to be true. And if you do that for yourselves, eventually you will, like archaeologists, you'll take out the dirt, you'll clean her up. And the next thing you know, you're sitting on a priceless gem. You just needed to uncover me and get the dirt off and clean it up a little bit. And then look what you can create there. And a lot of it was just self-motivation, my friend. I had to be the one picking myself up and moving forward.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Unloaded and Uncovered podcast with me, your host, Magda Desir. If you are new here, please subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell for more updates, and follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Facebook at Unloaded and Uncovered podcast, and follow us on Instagram at Unloaded and Uncovered podcast. Goodness, that was a mouthful, but we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. Hey, Richard, how are you?
I'm doing great, Magda. So happy to be with you and your audience today. Pura Vida from Costa Rica.
Man, I'm loving it. You're somewhere extremely warm and tropical, and I'm in Chicago with this bipolar weather. So one of
Listen,
these
when I grew up in
days,
Philly and it was snowing and I had to go to school that day, I would close my eyes and say, I'd love to be where Gilligan's Island was. And that's where I am. Yeah, happy. Sunshine.
I love it. I love it. So let's get started. How is life right now for Richard?
Life is very good, my friend. Turned 51 years old. I shed some skin, lost a lot of mental weight, and I prioritized the most simplest things in life, which is pretty much love and paying it forward. And so I have very easy days where it's swaying. There's no forced fit. And so I can get through this crazy days of life with a smile and a spring in my step. I've accomplished a lot of goals too in regards to business, marrying the girl of my dreams and learning second languages. As long as you have certain checkpoints along the way and you
Yeah.
see that you're making progress, then every day's a happy day.
Awesome. You just turned 51?
Oh yeah, I'm old. I got gray or even white beard. And I have no more hair. They used to have the nicest hair back in the day, but that's long gone. Yeah.
You don't even look 51.
I don't feel 51. Work out in the gym every day, eat right, just try to have a good cycle of sleep and exercise. And
Yeah. Well, happy
yeah,
belated birthday.
well, I appreciate that, my friend.
That is amazing. You have this like certain type of like glow. I don't know what it is. It's like this aura that I'm getting. It's like a very playful yet wise aura that I'm getting while we're having this conversation. I don't know, but I like it. That's all I gotta say is I like
I'm
it.
a happy soul. I really am. And I try to be non-offensive and I just come to people in a certain way, which is very transparent. And as you say, playful, it should be. It should be
Yeah.
sweet and nice and nothing so serious and jagged. There's really no straight lines in nature. So I think if we can anchor in certain ways that it start at certain levels, then you can get to those serious conversations later if you have to.
Right, exactly. I love that. So now that you are at a point where life is good, you married
Yeah.
the woman of your dreams, you're in Costa Rica. We did discuss you are a collector of how did you put it?
Rocola jukeboxes and classic pinball machines.
Yes,
Oh,
you are.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So how did you get to where you are right now?
By getting past your parents' guilt,
Mm,
right? By not falling into certain traps where there's expectations of you scholastically, maybe
mm,
who you need to marry and what you need to do. And so when I was a little boy growing up in Northeast Philly, I
mhm.
gravitated towards second languages. And so when I graduated the Proud Abington back in 91, I did not decide to go to Harvard Law like Grandpa, Columbia Business like Pops, or my older brother that went to Washington and Lee University. Are you serious, Magda? I didn't have the grades for that. I didn't have the maturity either. I still don't have the maturity at this age to go to those schools. And so I had to make a big boy decision. And I wanted to be true to myself. So I wanted to put everything on learning the second language and be a Renaissance man, a romantic, someone that could be learned and something that could be used everywhere in the world, just not for specific situations. And so I got the reinforcement from my dedicated Spanish teacher, and the
Uh-huh.
late Principal Norman Schmidt wrote me a college recommendation letter. And between me, you, and your millions of audience fans, I didn't have the grades to get into Arizona. So what they did is really like the fridge did back in the old Bears days. They pushed me into the end zone. Yeah, with sweetness and Walter Payton. God, oh, and my favorite of all time, Evan Hester, the return king. Oh, I loved watching him return punt returns. So you have teammates, you have individuals
Yes.
that assist you to get those touchdowns. And so that added to my momentum. I was a Spanish
Okay.
major in Arizona. And then when I was 27, Magda, I had a 1 in a million opportunity to work at my friend's center for a couple months,
Hmm.
and I took it. And as they say, when that barn door is open, that horse ain't coming back. And so I was gone. That was 24 years ago. And so here I am today.
That's amazing. So, okay,
There's a
you
lot to
didn't want
unwrap
to.
there, I know.
No, it's fine. It's interesting because I kind of relate to your story a little bit. Uh, in a way, I didn't follow what family wanted to do. I knew that I didn't want to go to college, but they're like, "Oh, go to college, get a degree, do the whole American dream thing. Go to college, get a degree, get a job, get a good job, start a family, all this other stuff." But my second year of college, I was like, "I don't like this. This is crap. I hate it." But for some reason, my family was like, no, you have to do it. You have to do it. You have to do it. How did you get out of the, I don't want to do what my mom and dad or my family wants me to do? Because I'm sure there's somebody listening and in that position and just like, okay, well, this is the same, I'm going through the same thing. How did Richard like get his mindset to be like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to follow what I want to do, what my soul wants me to do.
Of course, it's quite simple. I
Hmm.
think of my ancestors. So great grandpa came from, in both sides of the family, Romania and Russia. Turn of
Okay.
the 20th century, went to New York in the garment industry. They
Uh-huh.
were tailors. We made our money during the Depression. So I said, hey, Mom, look at great grandpa. He couldn't speak English, and look what he did in New York City. So, yeah, we are nomads. It's in our blood. And you're telling me that all he did was skip 2 generations, but you don't think great grandpa would be proud of me? The fact I
Yeah.
learned a language like he did, I'm trying to do something. And so I also said, why don't we do this? As long as you see my dedicated practice, as long as you
Uh-huh.
see I'm practicing my violin hypothetically, why don't you keep encouraging me? Because the worst thing you could ever do is put out someone's spark, and don't ever force a fit.
Yeah.
And so my argument was about, I know you don't understand it and you didn't do it. Doesn't mean that I can't do it. And secondly, if I'm the only one out of all of our friends that can translate for a doctor, read a contract with an attorney, or get us out of that burning building because you don't understand the directions, maybe I'm that guy. See, you always need that wild card. And all the world's a stage, mama. What do you mean? You go to the store, you go to the restaurant, you go around the way. There's always someone there that speaks Spanish. And I'm not just throwing vocab words out there. These are good 10-minute solid conversations
Yeah.
over and over again. And so if somebody can separate themselves of what was expected of them,
Mm-hmm.
because they were young ones, Magna, they dreamed.
They
They
did.
wanted to be princesses or princes and slay dragons and save the
Yep.
world. And you should be so proud of your sibling that has that sort of desire. Mine went very extreme.
Mm-hmm.
I moved to another country, but prior to that, I did get a couple jobs in the United States close to home. I interned for Telemundo, worked for importers of Corona. So I was by my mama and dad and my brother, and I was there. Maggie, sometimes you feel like you're in a box, or like that
Yeah.
beautiful bird that's in the cage that's too small for their wings.
Yeah.
And you have to look at yourself in the mirror and be very clear with yourself. Are you willing to do this? Live that life, or are you willing to at least be free? And even if it doesn't work out, You can click your heels and come home. You'll always still respect yourself for walking into the ring versus Ali, like Chuck Wepner did when he became Rocky. You
Yeah.
always want that one time in the life to have vigor and to be brave. And it doesn't matter if you break a rib, get a black eye or chip a tooth. That's part of the game. You just want to go in there to see if you're a tiger. And my God, I wanted to do it at such a young age so I could have that sort of gas in my tank to last me the rest of my life. And there's naysayers and gray believers, and I had to stand alone and walk alone a lot of times, but it wasn't a forced march. That's when you're carrying the weight. This was the sort of thing where I had wind in my sails, gravity to my assistance in the currents of the water. It was Wu Wei, Mag. There was no resistance. And so it's like the stars being aligned and the gods are telling you what to do. And
Yeah.
so you have to be true. And if you do that for yourselves, eventually you will, like archaeologists, you'll take out the dirt, you'll clean her up. And the next thing you know, you're sitting on a priceless gem. You just needed to uncover me and get the dirt off and clean it up a little bit. And then look what you can create there. And a lot of it was just self-motivation, my friend. I had to be the one picking myself up and moving forward.
Wow. That was a word for
Nice.
me. No, that was
You're all
like,
emotional and stuff.
I was in it. I was in it, and I was like, okay, he's talking to me. Because that
I
was
am
that's
talking to you.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was a word for me, honestly. It's tough when it's like you wanna make your parents proud, but at the same time, you know that it's going to be points in your life that you're going to disappoint them. And you're disappointing them because you want to make sure that you yourself are happy with the decisions that you make for your life. And with that motivational speech you just gave me, it kind of clicked in my mind. It's like, okay, I'm here. I'm doing what I like to do, what I love to do, and I know I'm on the right path. But I know I'm going to have to disappoint a couple of people to make sure that I myself am happy in order to give, and I myself am happy. So that means I'm going to have to give myself what you just said in order to give others the same thing. That's where I'm at in my life. And that was a word for me. So thank you, Richard, for that word.
But it made it softer. I marinated it before the big decision.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I threw you in the deep end and it was like that came out of left field. They saw all the years and the Spanish and all that stuff. So it really didn't surprise them. It was almost like they
Oh,
were waiting for that moment where they knew it was coming.
yeah. I wanted to ask, why Spanish?
Well, I was given French, German, and Spanish as an option in high school, and
Mhm.
eine Flasche Bier bitte doesn't. So I already started with one word, So there you go, like the 5 cents in the piggy bank. We just began, and
Yeah.
so and the culture is beautiful. It's lively, it's colorful, the food, and it's a romantic language. So I enjoy the fact of desire and doubt with the subjunctive tense. I like when people are more colorful linguists, and so to me, it just seemed like a big product.
Yeah.
But if you can separate piles and little by little get there, it's the 10,000 hours that they all talk about before you learn the guitar or you become a master of something. Um, and it was fun. You're watching movies, listening to music, reading books. I mean, how could you go wrong? It's not like I was watching accounting movies and accounting music. No offense to accountants, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
All the world's a stage. It's a buffet of education.
That's great. That's great. So does your wife speak Spanish?
What was that?
Does your wife speak Spanish?
She most certainly does. She's native Costa Rican. Uh-huh.
Oh, that's awesome. So
You
you
want to
met
hear
her.
something cool? She's from a little town called Fila, and I'm from Philadelphia. So I'm like, yeah, right? No, but she's cool. Her name is Grace Bourbon. And I met her when I first got here 6 months in, and she was working at my roommate's restaurant. So, my
Oh,
roommate says, yo, don't mess with Grace. So I said, yo, Magna, you know what I'm going to do? I'm
you
definitely
mess
going to
with
ask
Grace.
her out.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. You got to have fun. It's like an 80s movie. You got to run around and have a good time. And so, yeah. And then we fell in love and here we are today. We just celebrated our 16th year in business.
Wow.
And
Business.
so,
What do you guys do together in business?
well, we own a call center in Costa Rica, a
Okay.
bilingual call center called Costa Rica's Call Center. And she's the
Yeah.
director of human resources. I might be the owner, but she's the boss. And so I bring in the sales, I do the motivation and training, but she handles the paperwork with the Costa Rican government. She's also an attorney.
Oh.
And yeah, I married up. I don't know how I got that one, but I did. And it's been a fun ride. I mean, there's as much as you can expect of two languages in a home and two cultures, and every day's fresh. Those are the sort of relationships you don't have to force. People
Mm-hmm.
love each other so much and are so interested in each other that the fact that we have two completely separate upbringings before we got together, that's the most natural fit I've ever seen
Yeah.
before, because it's the essence that connects, not the things in common from how you grew up and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. But why Costa Rica?
Well, that was the one in a million shot because a friend of mine from college had a call center here that was assisting his business in the United States.
Okay.
And he says, "Hey, Richie, you want to come down for a couple months?" Because I was in between jobs at the moment. And when I came down, I fell in love with the country. But then again,
Uh-huh.
it's the first time I ever saw a call center. And this is back in August of 2000. So think of the technology that they had then. They're using, Plantronic headsets, Cisco phones, and working off of Excel sheets and highlighter pens. And
Oh.
but I saw the art of speech. I saw bilingual agents with such intense concentration to translate, converse, and convert calls.
Yeah.
And then I said, "Yo, Magna, I think I can do this. I'll learn the technology, but I think I can get on the phone and dance the dance. I have stories to tell." And so my buddy's like, "Yo, man, you want to try to get on the phone for a little bit?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll try it." And then the next thing you know, it's almost like Luke Skywalker with Star Wars. I didn't need to be part of a rebel alliance to blow up Death Star. I was not jaded. I was never trained. I had no bad habits. So I just went in as Philly Raw. Next thing you know, 2 weeks later, I'm the top one on the board for retentions and upsells. And they said, "How did you do it?" How do you not do it? You just
Yeah.
calm down, slow down, listen to people, you anchor, you bridge, use tie down sentences, and you make nice. And the next thing you know, things close. I was there for 4 years.
Okay.
I learned it from the inside out, never sea level. And so 16 years ago, when I decided to throw my hat in the ring, I knew the business. I just didn't know the contractual and the financial terms to it.
Got it.
But I
Okay.
learned it. I learned the people side, and that's the most important side.
Yeah. Wow. You take a lot of risks. A lot of risks. And I notice that you believe in yourself when you take these risks.
Yes.
Yes.
I had plan Bs though. I could always come home and work at a family business. So I could
Okay.
have always just pressed the button and gone home. And grandma taught me pay for things in cash. So I never overextended. When I started my business, I was renting turnkey stations at
Okay.
a blended center. So I didn't even own the space. I was just renting a seat per month. Then I
Mm-hmm.
rented space and bought used equipment. And then 6 years ago, I purchased a building and put on a third floor. And so it's like the game of life. I started in the tent. Now I'm in the
Yeah.
mansion. You know, I like bricks and I like Lego and I like slow and steadies and I like when things are built. And as
Yeah.
long as your audience has patience,
Uh,
you will eventually build your castle. It just takes time. I don't know if your audience has 16 years in them. They might only have 16 days in them to become a CEO. And that's where a lot of people gas out, my friend. They're not long players. They're in
hmm.
it for the weekend or for the month and they sound great, but, they're one trick ponies, right? And,
Mm-hmm.
and they're smoke and mirrors and it's cute and it's fun and you might get an idea or two out of them, but, I don't think they can last 4 quarters and they definitely
Hmm.
can't take one in a chin because they've never been tested. It's character during chaos, my friend. And even though we haven't gotten too deep in regards to some of our dark moments or when we've really been defiant and pushed in a corner, but I've seen individuals severely step up to the plate and
Yeah.
those that I've depended upon run for the hills. And you're like, "Where's Billy?" He quit. And so, that's humbling. And,
Yeah.
and you see things in a different way as well when you have leverage and you're capable of making adjustments in a company.
Yeah. That's a lot to learn. You don't learn that in school. Like life is a really, it's a, it, I believe life is school. You learn a lot in life, lessons, trials, tribulations, anything that you go through life, you learn and then you apply it to wherever you are in that current moment. And
That's right.
it's great to see how you traveled that road alone and still came out on top. Like, I love it. I really, really love your tenacity. I love your wit. I love the aura, the mindset, the belief that you have in yourself, the faith that you have in yourself, the faith. I'm not sure if you uh subscribe to religion or whatever, or the universe or God, but whatever you believe in, I love that you have faith in that as well. Like, enamored. I admire you, like, in all honesty. At my tender age, at 36, I truly admire what you've done and accomplished.
That's why I'm on your show, because I too. This is a happy party of admiring, and I love that we keep exchanging gifts. No, but you shine as well, my friend. You're an incredible person, and it's just happy energy that goes out there. And the
Yeah.
way you describe your podcast and the communication between you and I prior to getting on the air, it's about looking forward to seeing each other. So glad that we met, and you're so interesting. And your audience should only see what you do behind the scenes and how hard you work. But you mentioned something earlier, the playful nature. I always believe that that is the sort of flavor that works in any situation, unless someone is so cold that they
Yeah.
don't know. Get off my lawn. Okay, grandpa. I mean, it won't work for him, but for 90% of the people, being sweet and being observant, being lucid in what's in their office, in their home, what they really care about, what they love. And I mean, sure, you could look at nails, hair, what jewelry and stuff, whatever. But I see other things as well, what people put their time in and what they're proud of. And so
Yeah.
let's say we're making a phone call to a company. Just by
Hmm.
doing a little bit of due diligence on a website or a LinkedIn profile, you can find 10 things in common, leave custom made voicemails and emails. Magda, let's say you were trying to sell me something or get an appointment with me. Just by mentioning Philly and pinball machines, you got at least 3 minutes of my undivided attention. People want that. They're not going to give you an hour, but they'll give you a round. They'll give you 3 minutes and they'll
Yeah.
see if you can buy another three. And I've been able to show people to not think of a 10-minute phone call, but think of it as 20, 30-second calls where you just need to master a breath and exchange and a pause, and then you're on to the next one. So you don't leave doors open. You use certain transitional sentences. So it's not like, checklisting somebody. So I'm so glad that you love nice weather. That's why, Magna, one day you should visit Costa Rica. Boom, you take what you said, repeating it, jumping to the next topic. It's very simple. Is it manipulation? It can be. Someone has to lead a dance. But it's not lying or compromising ethics. You're just so well versed in singing and in music and in dance and in painting that it's effortless for you, but it's difficult
Hmm.
for the novice. But a
Yeah.
novice, if you hold their hand, like if you jump out of a plane with someone with a parachute with you, they know what to do. Someone can lead you. Someone can teach you. And even your experience of no experience can add that one special sauce or
Yeah.
flavor that you wouldn't even thought about before. And so I've had people at the end say, this is the best call I've ever gotten. You're the best salesman. And I'd say, yo, Magna, I'm not a salesperson. From an educated point of view, you made the decision to stay on the phone with me. You could have hung up any time, but you decided to stay. I was authentic. I was sincere. When I paid compliments to you, it wasn't shallow. And when I asked you certain questions about your dog, I asked its name, its breed, and how old was your puppy? I just
Yeah.
didn't pretend like to be interested. I really was engaged. And so when you have this sort of depth, it's roots of your tree. So it
Hmm.
doesn't fall. And then when you have that, then you can expand on branches. So then you
Hmm.
can extend to the birdies and stuff. And, it's all about core. That's why athletes always depend on their core for their balance and for their breath, because if you don't have your core, nothing else works. There's no balance in breathing. These are the most simplest suggestions
Hmm.
that I could give to people that I think is general universal and is an
Hmm.
excellent starting point to give center balance and focus.
Yeah, those are very good key points and strategies that people can apply to their lives and situations right now. I never thought of it like that. I'm not
I give
gonna
you one
lie.
more.
Oh, you may get
Conflict
more.
management. 2 ears, one mouth. First, you need to stop, drop, and roll and breathe. I want to save a Thanksgiving dinner, a marriage, and Christmas. Okay, let those person gas themselves out. Really, so you
Okay.
get everything. If there's a sense of urgency, fine, you got to answer. But if you say, Magna, thank you for sharing that with me. May I sleep on it? May I write a draft on it, not send it? May we continue this tomorrow? And
Yes.
then if you have the luxury of time,
Yeah.
dissect it, filter it, sleep on it. So the next day there's readjustments. I might be apologizing to you. I might see
Uh-huh.
priorities and I might get a second chance so I don't blow it. And so I
Hmm.
sometimes like to ask for luxury of time, if I may. And if
Hmm.
it's really quick, then give me 2 minutes just to take a walk with Magna for a second so we can just decompress. And then we'll
Yeah.
go back to the meeting. You know what I mean? So don't ever be forced to do that sort of quick draw answer. Cause unless you're Clint Eastwood in a spaghetti Western, you're probably going to get shot.
True. True. Very true. Nice analogy. I like that analogy. That
Weren't
that
they the
that.
best movies with Angel Eyes, Lita Van Cleef? I love
Yeah.
those movies.
Although I was born in the late '80s, I have seen some. I
I got
have.
1,000 recommendations for you on what you should be watching, and you should listen to me. If you like my groove, I can tell you about Remington Steele and the A-Team, all those crazy movies in the 80s, like Fast Times at Richmond High or Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You better
Oh,
be
I
watching those.
love Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I think I
Yeah.
watched that so many times in my childhood. Love it, love it. But man, Richard, I love this conversation. Like I love this conversation. You gave me so much insight. Gave my listeners, my viewers, so much insight. So how can people work with you?
Work with me. Well,
Of course.
they can always buy a first class plane ticket and fly to Costa Rica and meet me. But why would a company need a nearshore call center? Well,
Hmm.
they might need it for sales or appointment setting, lead generation,
Hmm.
customer support, back office support, even non-voice omni-channel support like
Mm.
chat and email. But yo, Magna, check this out. AI is for gathering. There's IVRs, integrated voice response, where you can put in your answers and it goes through. But you and I keep pressing zero because it's annoying and I want to speak with somebody. AI will never be able to extend the sort of empathy,
Yeah.
compassion, and human connection that the computer can. It's almost like those cold metal bus stop benches. It's
Hmm.
convenient. It's just cold and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so, I'll take it as a portion of like a car to get you there, but I still need the human element in that.
Okay.
And so I still believe, even though little by little they're chipping away at my industry of the labor force and replacing it with AI, there's certain areas, yes. But you and I will always be pressing zero because we would always like to speak with somebody for retention. How about
Okay.
an upsell, right? You know, the cookies with your cappuccino. And what about a referral? I'm going to definitely recommend Magna to all of my friends. And
Yeah.
then the most mature thing that we could talk about is the exit interview. If
Ah.
I lose a client or if another competitor gets my business, if that individual is kind enough and generous enough to tell me what I need to do,
Hmm.
I might lose $1, but I could make 10 in the future. And so these are just thoughts. It's not too much to unpack. It's just like the gym. Just choose one exercise and one machine at a time. You'll still get your chest routine in. You just got to slow down and move around. And people are always jumping ahead or thinking of the past. I like what Hollywood directors would do. They just kind of see where the scene is at. And that's easier for me. I can relax better that way. I won't step in a rabbit hole if I
Okay.
look down every now and again. And that's kind of what Ferris was saying. He did tell you to stop and look around once in a while or you might miss it. And I'm
Yep.
telling people to take breaths and stop and look around every now and again when there's conflict or momentum. So you can ground yourself, checkpoint yourself, make sure that we're good. And then we keep moving forward. And so I've been doing that with life as well, my friend. It's been working.
Yeah, Richard, being present is very important. It's very, very important. I love that concept. That was great. That was
But how does it
really
work
good.
when people are thinking of their family stress and financial problems and stuff? How do you get
Yeah.
them in the moment?
Yeah, it doesn't work at all. And I'm not gonna
I use a
lie.
little bit of guilt. I go, Magna, you know you're better than that. And you're like, ooh. I go, not done. You're also out of character today. You're not smiling. And so I'll call you out twice, not just one, a double shot. You want me to go a third? I'll keep ripping on you until you say, Richard, you're right. You're right. You're right. I know I'm right, Chicago. Come on, Philly's telling you what's going on. And I sometimes need to call the balls and the strikes, and I need to sometimes be black and white with this. And if you're
Yeah,
straight with somebody, then you might get their respect because you might be the one that says, listen, I saw what you did last week. Today you're a little bit
yeah,
different, and I've seen you in your best. And
yes,
you do it privately. You don't do it on the floor. You take them into the game room or an office, and a lot of the times people will break down and start crying, or they'll disclosing issues they have. And I do realize that there are things outside the office that affect
yes,
them. And so I
yes.
say, okay, I can't go home with them and I can't solve their issues. But
Mm-hmm.
if Magda and I can recharge their batteries while they're here,
Mm-hmm.
then maybe they'll have enough gas in their tank to go home, do what they have to do, and be able to come back the next day. So I might be able to work half of that circle, if that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah,
It does. Yes.
Chicago.
Thank you. Thank you. Richard, this was great. I loved our conversation. It flowed so naturally. I loved everything about it. Again, I loved every single bit about it.
Didn't we have fun today?
We did. We did. This was a very thought provoking conversation. Well, not only for myself, hopefully for my viewers and listeners. This was great.
I have
This is
one last bit of advice.
okay. Give it
You
to
ready?
us. Yeah.
This is when we're going to get real. I do not want anybody to be hard on themselves. Okay. I know that you judge yourself with others in regards to how high they jump and how,
Yeah.
fast they can run and how much money they have and all whatever. But if you can look at yourself in the mirror at the end of the day and
Yeah.
realize, regardless of the outcome, you did everything you could with honorable intentions. That's worth more than money because golden jewels lose its luster. It's the chivalry. It's the honor. It's the sort
Mm.
of spirituality that you have stressed in regards to your podcast. That needs to be maintained. Any fool can make money, but it's the individual that has their ethics and morals and stands up for things and is just a beautiful person. Those are the ones that the kings and princes admire. They wish they could, and that's why a lot of these individuals that have so much feel shallow because they realize that other people are gravitating towards other individuals naturally. I don't
Yeah.
want you to buy me lunch. I want to make lunch with you. Let's go to my kitchen and do this. There's a big difference there. I don't want someone doing that sort of checklists and tit for tat. And
Yeah.
that's not a fun way. I don't want to have to pay to be friends with somebody or have somebody feel like they need to pay me to spend time with me. No, 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 no. You don't need that burger, seriously. And you don't need that sort of friend. And as you say, life is too short. I'd rather meet amazing individuals like yourself that I'm proud to be friends with. And I know that will speak well about me than having 1,000 people that I know that just see me as a boss and think it's cool that they know whatever. That's the beauty of being in the position that you and I are in. We have the luxury to choose with whom we spend time with.
This is
And
true.
I think that's what makes the most beautiful.
It does. And with that, Richard, we are going to end our conversation. I wish I could keep you.
I know. I wish I could stay.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in and watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like, share, comment, hit that notification bell for more updates. Follow us on Instagram at Unloaded Uncovered Podcast. Find us on Facebook, Unloaded and Uncovered. And I wish you all an amazing weekend and week. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Richard, again, thank you for coming and dropping so many gems. You're
Oh,
a
yeah.
great storyteller. Great
Yeah.
story.
Watched a lot of TV, my friend, but you're amazing as well. Had the best time. And once again, Pura Vida, my friend.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, until next time. Bye.